Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I want to show you why I think BarkBox has one of the best subscription box websites with regards to high conversion rate and following best practices. So what I'm going to do is take you through their website and give you my thoughts on why I think things are done well on that website and how it impacts customer psychology and ultimately their conversion rate and gets people to purchase. So I'm about to dive into my screen here in a minute, but before I do that, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Steve. I'm the founder of Harbor Marketing Agency, and my team and I help scale e-commerce and subscription box brands to over 7 and 8 figures in revenue. So let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing that I want to look at here is the navigation on the site. Now, what you'll notice about the BarkBox website is that the navigation is extremely simple. So there's no About Us section, there's no Our Story section, there's no blog section, there are no external distracting links. Really all they have is the logo on the left. They have a customer service link here as well. And then they just have the monthly themes, a login link for customers, and a Get BarkBox, which takes you to their quiz page. So what I like about this is it's very simple. And this is what I recommend for all subscription boxes because a simple funnel is much easier to optimize. If you're a subscription box, odds are you don't have a ton of different products on your site. Usually you're just selling one subscription box, and it might be a monthly, 6-month or 12-month option, but it's still one thing that you're selling. So for that reason, there's no need for a massive complicated navigation because when you have that, what ends up happening is people go to your homepage, but then they click on the blog and they click on the About Us and they click on the Our Story page, and there's going to be different drop-off rates on all of those pages. So you have to spend your time optimizing all of those just to get them to go back to go to the Choose Your Plan page or the application or quiz, however your funnel is structured. So it's much easier to just have a homepage and then one link to the next step in the checkout process and just focus on optimizing that homepage, which essentially acts as a landing page. So I really love their navigation for its simplicity, and I think they're following best practices here. Next, I want to dive into their hero section. So I think this is a perfectly done hero section for a subscription box website. There are a couple things that they're doing really well here. First off, they have a really strong value proposition statement as soon as you land on the site. So it says monthly dog goodies for good doggies, exclusive toys, treats, and fun, all tailored to your best bud. So what I love about that is your hero section is essentially the hook for the rest of your website. And it's really your opportunity to very clearly communicate what exactly you're selling and what value you have to offer right off the bat and get people interested in actually scrolling through the rest of your site. So you need to have really clear, effective copy here, and I think they do just that. It describes exactly what they do. What I also love about this is their imagery on this hero section visually communicates the value proposition of the product. So you can see a dog here, it's really enjoying its toy, and it looks like just a really high quality toy. So you get an idea of exactly what it is that they're selling within 2 seconds of being on their site, which I love. So far, our two key takeaways from the navigation and the hero section are: for the navigation, give people a clear path to checkout and keep it simple. And for the hero section, you want to communicate the value proposition of your product both in written form and visually within 2 seconds of landing on the site. Another thing that I really love about this site is that you can tell that they really understand their customers. So you go to barkbox.com and they have this first page that you land on, which is their homepage. It says monthly dog goodies for good doggies. But then you can tell that they've done their customer research and identified a couple different objections or pain points that people have. So they have a different landing page that people can click on for super chewers. And so these are for dogs who just kind of tear through any toy that they get. And so they might want a BarkBox with stronger, more durable toys in them. So they've created a different landing page for that people can click on if they feel like their dog is a super chewer. And they can scroll through that page, and it's basically the same layout as their homepage, just designed for super chewer. They also have a dental one and a food one. So they've identified different sub-segments of their customers and created different landing pages for them that ultimately all take them to the same checkout process. So let's move on to the what's in the box section. This is something that I recommend all subscription boxes have on their website. And I really love what BarkBox does here. Basically, their what's in the box section is exactly how it sounds. It tells people exactly what they can expect in their box. And I love that they do this right underneath the hero section, because basically when people land on the site, the first thing that they're going to want answered is, am I in the right place? Is this site consistent with the link that I clicked on to get here? So that hero section is going to answer that question. Hey, yeah, you're in the right place. We sell a monthly box of dog toys and dog treats. The next logical question that they're going to have after that hero section is, okay, well, what exactly do I get? And so it makes sense for the what's in the box section to be right underneath that hero section so that they can have that question answered. And so I love how BarkBox does that here. And again, you can see a more detailed visual of exactly what you can expect to receive in that box, which I love. So now let's move on to the how BarkBox works section. What I love about the way that BarkBox designed this section is they break it down into 3 easy steps, which is very easy to digest for people. So it's just create the perfect box, subscribe for monthly dog joy, and get ready to play. And then if you look at the subtext, you can see, again, they really understand their customer and they've tailored the copy to address the specific pain points that their customer has. So it says, no 2 dogs are alike. Customize your box for their individual needs, from allergy-safe treats to their favorite toys. So they know that people want toys that their dogs are really gonna love, and they wanna make sure that they're allergy safe. They don't wanna put their dog in harm's way. The next one here, pick the right plan for you. We offer 6 or 12-month subscriptions shipped right to your dog's door. That makes it very clear that this is a subscription. People know what they're signing up for. They're not going to have a bunch of blowback from people trying to cancel their subscription because they didn't realize they were signing up for a subscription in the first place. Believe it or not, very common problem in the subscription box industry if you don't have a how it works section. And then lastly, what I recommend everybody do in the how it works section is set expectations around shipping. So they're saying most boxes arrive within 5 days. Every month after, you'll get themed toys, wholesome treats, and a lot of dog excitement. This is a really key point. You're setting expectations around when they can expect to receive their box. Oftentimes, subscription box brands, especially those with more complicated logistics issues, don't clearly communicate expectations around shipping times, and someone might order their box on the 1st of each month and it might not ship until the 25th. And so then there's this long gap of people basically saying, is this ever gonna ship? Did they forget about my order? Am I not gonna receive this box? So if you communicate this right off the bat, then you're setting yourself up for success and a more positive customer experience. Okay, so next we have the pricing section. What I love about this pricing section is that it incentivizes longer term plans. So you can see that the 12-month plan here is a much better deal than the 1-month plan. So they're proactively trying to extend their lifetime value by getting people to sign up for the longer term plan. What I also love about this pricing section is that they bake in add-ons to increase their average order value. So it says get free shipping when you add extra toys and treats to your plan. So I love that they do that, and that's something that every subscription box company I think should do. You're gonna see greater cash flow and profitability in your business if you can add add-ons at checkout and get people to just increase their average order value with 1 click. Okay, so let's move on to the social proof section. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of subscription box companies make on their websites, and it's something that I think BarkBox does really, really well. Before we even dive into the reviews here, I want to touch on this little line right here. So this says, beloved by over 2 million dogs. This is something that a lot of subscription box companies can replicate, but I don't see a lot of people doing it. So people tend to put a lot of reviews on their site, but they don't add social proof by the amount of volume that they've shipped. So over 2 million dogs, people read that and they say, okay, wow, this is a credible, trustworthy brand. Over 2 million people have been customers of them. They must be doing something right. So I can reasonably assume that I'll have a positive experience with them as well. So even if you're a smaller subscription box, you could say something like the number of boxes shipped. You know, if you have 100 customers, but they've all been around for 10 months, then you could say something like X amount of boxes shipped, 10 times 100. It sounds a little bit bigger. So that's something that I think all subscription boxes could take advantage of, and it just adds a little bit of authority and credibility. The next thing that I want to point out on their review section is that 1, they have really cute photos of the dogs, but 2, the reviews actually address common objections or things that people are looking for in a dog toy subscription box. So they're not generic reviews. They're not just saying, love this box, great experience. This one says, she looks forward to her BarkBox so much, she loves to explore the different textures and shapes of the toys. So again, going back to BarkBox understanding their customer, I can say with almost 100% certainty that this is backed on customer feedback. And they surveyed their customers and found out that one of the things that was important to their customers is that they felt that their dogs needed to explore different textures and shapes because that's how their brains develop. That's how, maybe if they're trying something new, it tires them out and they're not being a pest at night. So that review actually addresses an actual pain point that customers are experiencing. The next one here. We have a great time opening his boxes because the themes never disappoint. We're so grateful for such an awesome company that helps us keep our pup happy and healthy. Keyword, healthy. So that's addressing a different customer concern of, how do I keep my dog healthy? How do I keep them active? How do I keep their brain functioning and trying new toys? There's a health aspect to this as well. Third review here, Pearl's first BarkBox came when she was 2 months old, and seeing her playstyle develop with each box over the last 8 months has been fun to watch. She also drools over all the treats. So seeing her play style develop. So this is also a learning activity for dogs. And so you can see that these reviews are custom tailored to the objections or pain points that customers are experiencing. And so every subscription box can do that, but it comes down to understanding your customer first. Your review section can be so powerful if you structure it right. Avoid just putting up generic reviews that just say, great experience, love this box. It has to be specific to the actual pain points that customers are experiencing. Next section here, again, I love that they're tailoring this towards their customer, so they know that a lot of their customers have super chewers, and so they're giving them a link to go to that landing page instead so they can learn more about that box. Okay, so FAQs section here. You'll notice that the FAQ section is at the bottom of the site. I really like that they're including this FAQ section. Couple things that stand out to me in this section are that, again, they're addressing the potential objections that their customers might have. Your FAQ section is really your opportunity to proactively get ahead of those objections, as opposed to just having those questions go unanswered and then people just go and leave your site. So what you'll see here, what comes in a BarkBox, they did answer that above, but they address it again here. What kinds of toys are in a BarkBox? Is BarkBox approved for puppies and different dog breeds? So I'm sure that's a common question that they get, and they do a good job of addressing that front and center here. Is BarkBox customizable? So there are lots of different types of dogs out there. Some have allergies, some are smaller, some are bigger, some have just different things going on. So people want a customizable box, and BarkBox does a good job of messaging that, but then also truly being able to customize it on the back end. How much does BarkBox cost? So they do a good job of just being upfront about that. And this last one is really, really important. How can you cancel a BarkBox? So a big objection that people have with signing up for any subscription box is, can I cancel this easily? A lot of subscription box companies make it super difficult to cancel, and customers get very frustrated by that. So BarkBox says, if your pup isn't happy with their BarkBox, we'll work with you to make it right. We can also help if you need to skip, pause, or cancel your box. Reach out to our happy team at happy@barkbox.com. So they make it seem very easy to cancel, which customers really appreciate. Now, this section would be my only critique of this landing page. Their email capture at the bottom, it is good just to have a universal email capture at the bottom of your site and your footer, but I think they could do a better job of creating a better offer here to sign up as opposed to just BarkBox discounts, content, and more. That's very vague and generic, and I think people need something a little bit more tangible and specific to be enticed to sign up for their email list. Okay, so moving on to their quiz here. So this is something that I think BarkBox does really, really well. And there are a couple things that are going on here that I want to cover. So first, it's asking, what is your dog's name? Now, what I love about this whole process is their quiz is very personalized. And so it makes it feel like I'm going to get a product that is custom tailored to my dog, specifically for me, specifically for my dog. And that's just such a value add that I think customers really, really appreciate. So personalization is really important. The other thing I want to call out here, as you go through the questions in this quiz, you'll notice that there are no distractions whatsoever on these pages. So as you go through this quiz, there's no navigation, there are no links to go anywhere else. It is just the quiz, and that is it. And that's very intentional. This is something that we try to implement for our clients as well. And the reason for that is at this point in the customer journey, people have been through your landing page or homepage. They've hopefully gathered all the information that they need to know. And your job at this point is just to funnel them to checkout with minimal distractions. So don't include any other links at this point in the process. You just want to get them to give you their information and go through to checkout and purchase. So I love how BarkBox does that here, and that's such an important piece of the process. So what's your dog's name? I'll put my dog's name in. Balto, he's a good boy. How big is Balto? So again, understanding their customer, different types of dogs, different boxes for different size dogs. I'm going to choose medium. What breed? And then you can put in his breed here. Continue. Or adoption day. We want to help you celebrate their special day. So I'll put in January 2017. And then I love this piece too. So again, BarkBox really understands their customers. They understand that allergies are a big objection. And so they make it possible to customize the box so that you can not have any of the foods that their dog might be allergic to included in their box. Very, very important. Email. Okay, so I want to cover this section because this is very important. You'll notice that they didn't ask for the email first. Instead, they asked for the email after they had already asked a couple of questions ahead of time. The reason that they do this is because of the law of micro investments. The law of micro investments basically says that the more small steps that you take towards a larger step, the more likely you are to complete a larger step. And so in this case, they've asked us 3 or 4 questions before they got to the email capture question, which is most important for them as a business. And so because we're already invested in this process and we've put our time and energy into filling out those first 3 or 4 questions, we're going to be more likely to input our email into this question because we're already so invested in the process. So I love that they do that, and I can guarantee you that this is 100% intentional. And I also love that the copy here says, send me more ways to make my dog happy. We will never spam you. We will only send you ideas relevant to Balto. So they just basically add a disclaimer like, hey, we're not going to blow up your inbox. This is actually going to be email content that you actually enjoy. So we have choose your plan here. So this is really where we're getting into, more of the psychology behind this and why this is such a good checkout process. So you'll notice here that they have different plan options. They have a 12-month subscription, a 6-month subscription, and a monthly subscription. The 12-month subscription obviously is the cheapest. What I love about the way that they do this here is the 12-month subscription is first, and it says best value. So they're really trying to get people to sign up for that 12-month. Most people have the monthly first, and then the 6-month, and then the 12-month. And since people naturally read from left to right, I think it does make sense to have the 12-month on the left because that's just where people's eyes will naturally gravitate to first. So really love that little detail here. I also love that they're including the amount that you're saving in the box here. So it says save 37% on a 12-month subscription, 26% on a 6-month subscription, and then it's 35% at the regular monthly price. So giving people a solid number on the actual amount that they're saving is really important and makes them feel like they're really getting a good deal. The last note on this choose your plan section here is that they're using risk reversal. So 100% happy guarantee. If Balto isn't happy with their BarkBox, we'll work to make it right. So I love that they're including a risk reversal line here, and that's something that I think a lot of subscription boxes don't do that they should be doing. People want to know that if they don't like whatever they order, that it's not going to be a massive headache to go through customer service and get a refund or get their money back. This is generally always a good thing to add as long as you have confidence in your product and are shipping something that your customers actually enjoy and is aligned with their expectations. I think that a risk reversal line like this will do more to lower your customer acquisition costs than it will cost you in refunds and returns. So next page here, they have an add-on that you can purchase here, something every single subscription box should do. It's one click and then I can just add it on and it instantly increases average order value. I love this section as well. So choose your first theme. So when a customer signs up for your subscription, the month that they are most likely to churn is going to be month 1. You get a lot of people that are basically trying it out in month 1 to see if they like it, and then they'll stay subscribed if they do like it. But you're going to see a heavy drop-off rate from the people that are trying it out, decide that they don't like it that much, and then they churn. So BarkBox is proactively combating that first month churn by allowing people to personalize the first month. So they can choose their theme here. They can choose between their April theme, which is like a weed themed 420 collection, which is kind of funny. They have a Barkbuster movie night theme, and then a surprise me BarkBox. So again, by allowing people to customize their first month and make it personalized, they're decreasing their first month churn. Very smart move. And then lastly, the checkout is just very clean. You fill out your shipping, fill out your card info, and check out. So all around, awesome experience and really great job by BarkBox. Now I'm going to dive into the bonus section, which is just some additional details that I think BarkBox is doing really, really well. Okay, so a couple other things that I think BarkBox is doing really well. I mentioned this earlier, but you will notice that they have different landing pages for the different customer segments that they service. So they have the generic kind of BarkBox homepage that we just went through. Then they have the Super Chewer page, and so you'll notice it follows almost the exact same layout as that homepage that we went through, except it's just for dogs that are super chewers who tear through toys. So if I had, a pit bull or something or some kind of dog that really just chewed through a lot of toys, this is the section that I would navigate to. This would speak more to my pain point. They also have a dental section. We hacked dog dental care. That's a big concern for a lot of people. They've created a landing page, and I can guarantee you they're driving that type of traffic that's concerned about their dog's dental hygiene specifically to this page. The next thing I want to touch on here is the copy and font that they're using on their site. The copy is not trying to be super professional. It's not using massive SAT vocab words. It's written for people who have dogs who are pretty down to earth, pretty chill people. And the copy really is written in their brand voice, which goes a long way. You want to write your copy as if you're speaking directly to your target customer. And most people don't like reading a ton of giant words and things that are difficult to understand. A general rule of thumb for copywriting is that you should basically write it at a 5th grade level. And I think BarkBox does a very good job of doing that. As far as the font goes, I love how selective they've been with their font choices. So font is something that I think is often overlooked, but it actually plays a pretty big role because it subconsciously gives people an idea of who you are as a brand. And for them, their font is very easy to read, it's very playful, and it's just simple font that you would expect a brand that sells dog toys to have. The next thing I would touch on regarding copy and font is the visual hierarchy, another thing that's often overlooked. So what you'll notice is that the headlines on their site are all the same size, the subheadlines are all the same size, and the paragraph text is all the same size. So as people navigate through each section, there's consistent visual hierarchy and it directs their eyes what to read first. And it just creates a better user experience. It's more aesthetically pleasing and feels a little bit more professional. So as I scroll through these sections here, I can see, headlines are all the same size, subheadlines all the same size, and paragraph font is all the same size. So very, very important and something that's often overlooked. So another thing that I want to touch on here is their use of white space. White space is something that every site should try to incorporate. I think a lot of people think that white space is a bad thing, but really it's something that makes your site a little bit easier to digest and makes the content on your site a little bit easier to absorb. What I mean by white space is all of this empty space on the sides of each section and also the top and bottom. You'll notice that the content isn't all smushed on top of each other where you can't really tell the difference between one section and the next. There's space that gives you some visual room to breathe. So as I scroll through these sections here, I can see that this is the hero section, a lot of space in between. Okay, got it. I scroll down. Because of the white space, I'm able to clearly tell that this is a new section that I'm supposed to take new information in from. And it's consistent like that as I go through the site. So empty space like that is a good thing because it makes the content in that section more important. It gives you a visual focal point on the content and it avoids everything being smushed all together where you can't really tell what you're supposed to be looking at. And then on the note of white space, the other thing that I love that they do is consistent padding throughout the entire site. So as I scroll down this page, you can kind of see this is where the content stops. There's this line here. And so as I scroll down, you'll notice that this is the line across their entire site. There's no content in any section that goes past this line. So that's a web design tip that a lot of people who just decide to DIY their sites don't know about, but it makes the site feel a lot better and easier to digest and absorb. Same thing on this side. You'll notice that about here is the line, and it's consistent padding across the entire site. So that's something that's a really easy tip that everybody can implement that is just going to make your site look more professional and should honestly help it convert a little bit better. So overall, I love the BarkBox website. I think that they are checking almost all of the boxes on what makes for a high converting subscription box website. They're obviously a huge company. They have invested hundreds of thousands, if not millions or tens of millions into conversion rate optimization. So their site is structured this way for a reason because it's proven to work. Hope that helps. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and a comment below and subscribe for more subscription box content. And if you are a subscription brand and you're looking for a good marketing partner to help you scale your subscription business, be sure to reach out to us at harbormarketingagency.com. Book a call with our team and we'd love to chat with you. Thanks so much.